There is a sound you have made thousands of times in your life. You know exactly what it sounds like. You know how it feels when it escapes your chest before you can stop it. But if someone asked you why humans make that sound at all, most people would say the same thing. Because something was funny. That answer feels obvious. It feels complete. It is also almost certainly wrong. Laughter is one of the oldest sounds in the human body. And for most of its existence, it had nothing to do with humor at all. To understand what it actually is, you have to go back much further than any joke ever told. You have to go back to a moment when our ancestors were not yet fully human, living in groups, constantly touching, climbing, wrestling, and chasing each other through the trees. Watch two young chimpanzees play. Really watch them. They tumble. They roll. They pin each other down. And while they do, they make a sound. It is breathy, rhythmic panting, in and out, fast and uncontrolled. It is not quite laughter as you know it, but it is close enough that researchers who study it say the family resemblance is impossible to ignore. That sound is not a response to anything funny. It is a signal. It means this is not a real attack. Keep going. I am not a threat. Without that signal, rough play is dangerous. A bite could be misread as aggression. A tackle could trigger a real fight. The panting sound is what makes play safe. It is a biological off switch for alarm. It says, we are not in danger, stay here, enjoy this. Humans inherited that system, but then something changed. Our vocal cords evolved differently. The breath became longer, louder, more varied. That short panting sound stretched into what we now recognize as a full laugh. And along the way, the signal started carrying more information. It was no longer just used during physical play. It started appearing in conversation, in greeting, in moments of reunion, in the relief that follows something frightening. Researchers studying isolated communities, studying children born without sight or hearing, studying patients who had lost nearly all language, found the same thing every time. The laugh was still there. It did not need to be learned. It did not need to be heard or seen first. It emerged on its own in the same form, in the same situations, in every human tested. That is not the pattern of something cultural. That is the pattern of something ancient, something wired in, something that was already there long before we had words to explain it. So what is it actually doing? The most consistent finding in the science of laughter is this. Laughter almost never happens alone. You are 30 times more likely to laugh in the presence of other people than when you are by yourself. If you are alone and you laugh at something funny, the laugh is often smaller, quieter, sometimes absent entirely. The full laugh, the uncontrolled one, the one that bends you over and takes your breath away, that one almost always requires an audience. This suggests that the primary function of laughter is not about the funny thing. It is about the people around you. Laughter is a broadcast. It tells everyone nearby, I am relaxed, I am open, I am not a threat, I am inside this group with you. In social groups where status is constantly being negotiated, that signal is enormously valuable. A laugh at the right moment can dissolve tension. It can repair a broken interaction. It can say, I forgive you without using a single word. Ancient humans living in groups of 30 or 40 people needed a fast, reliable way to manage the emotional temperature of the group. Laughter was that tool. It spread safety the way fire spreads warmth. You did not have to understand it to feel it. You just had to be close enough to hear it. And here is where it gets even stranger. Laughter is contagious in a way that is completely automatic. Researchers played recordings of laughter to people inside brain scanners. The moment the laughing sound entered the ear, the motor regions of the face activated. Not from a decision, not from thought. The face was already preparing to respond before the person had any awareness of doing so. The brain treats laughter the way it treats a yawn or a flinch. It mirrors it. Instantly. Unconsciously. This means that when one person in a group starts laughing, the pressure on everyone else to laugh is not social in the polite sense. It is neurological. The nervous system picks it up like a frequency and starts to resonate. The social bonding function is almost impossible to resist once it begins. Now think about where humor fits into all of this. Humor is new. The kind of complex, linguistic, conceptual humor that humans use today required language, required abstraction, required a theory of mind sophisticated enough to notice the gap between what someone expected and what actually happened. That kind of humor arrived very late, but the laughter mechanism was already ancient. What humor did was give the old signal a new trigger. It gave the body a reason to fire the broadcast in situations where no one was physically wrestling, where no one was chasing, where the play was happening entirely inside the mind. A good joke is, in a very real sense, mental play. It builds an expectation and then breaks it. And when it breaks, the old alarm that says this is safe, this is not a threat, this is play, fires automatically. You laugh not because your intellect decided the joke was funny. You laugh because the ancient mechanism recognized the pattern of safety and released it. This is why laughter at a funeral is not always disrespectful. It is not always a failure of control. Sometimes it is the oldest part of the body doing exactly what it was built to do in a moment of overwhelming social stress. Release the pressure. Keep the group intact. Hold everyone together. And this is why forced laughter feels hollow. You have probably felt this. Someone laughs and you know immediately it is not real. The timing is slightly off. The sound is slightly different. The body does not fully commit. Research confirms that people are remarkably accurate at detecting fake laughter, sometimes from a single short clip. The mechanism that broadcasts safety is also calibrated to detect when someone else is faking it. The system is built for honesty because in a world where your survival depended on reading the emotional state of 20 people around you, a false signal was more dangerous than no signal at all. So the next time you laugh, and you feel it rise before you can stop it, understand what is actually happening. You are not just responding to a joke. You are running a program that is older than language, older than fire, older than anything we would recognize as civilization. You are doing what your ancestors did in the trees, in the grass, in the long dark before words existed. You are telling the people around you, I am here, I am safe. You are safe too. Stay close.